I am really gobsmacked, Mr. Chair, and quite disappointed that this Conservative motion is necessary. When this Supreme Court decision came down last week arguing that a mandatory minimum sentence for the possession and acquisition of child sexual abuse and exploitation material was cruel and unusual punishment, I thought this could be and would be a unifying moment for members of Parliament and parliamentarians of all stripes. I actually had a moment of hope that the Liberal government would do the right thing here, say this is ridiculous, we are going to reintroduce the law at the first available opportunity and do so using the notwithstanding clause, a key part of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms in this country, to assert that Parliament, as the democratically elected body by Canadians, gets to have the final say on this and not an activist judge. And I'll speak to why, very briefly, the mandatory minimum is necessary in the first place. The two offenders that were at the center of this Supreme Court ruling had, each of them, hundreds of images of child sexual exploitation and abuse material, referred to in the decision as child pornography. One of them, 90% of the images were depicting young girls between the ages of 3 and 6 years old, some of which showing them being, quote, subjected to acts of penetration and sodomy committed by adults and minors. The other offender as well had hundreds of images and videos of children from 5 to 10, quote, being subjected to sexual abuse such as fellatio and vaginal and anal penetration by adults. Now, the judge at the trial stage gave the first offender the bare minimum, 90 days imprisonment to be served intermittently at his convenience, and 9 months of imprisonment. The second offender was given very similar, in fact, identical sentence there. Without a mandatory minimum, that sentence, which is already in and of itself offensively low, may have been even lower. That is why a mandatory minimum sentence is necessary. And that is why we are calling on this House to reintroduce this legislation with the notwithstanding clause. I was a victim of sexual abuse as a child. And to my knowledge, there are no photos or videos of that. And I hope that that will end up being true.